this is another attempt to make progress with code deploy before we go out and like do something outside. So first, did we delete? Yeah, there are code. What are these code deploys? Why do I have this one? CI02. Delete this one. This one, delete. Oops, why is this deploy application? No. Delete. This one, delete. Three, delete. Delete. And this one is also delete. Delete. Okay, next is we will go to do that. ECS. Okay, cluster. And let's go to ECR. So let's create a cluster. Monday, just JX cluster. Fargate. So we still have coder infantry here. Task definition. Create a task definition. Task diff. Fargate. So on. Task rule. So on. Container. Container is from here. Coder infantry. Essential container, yes. Private registry, no. Port mapping, add more. Read only root file. Environment variables. Add individually. Add from file. For the environment variables here, yeah, I think I don't have to. Logging, add parameters, container timeout, Docker configuration, resource limits, Docker labels, ephemeral storage, monitoring options. Great. How to set up this one so that it can have a create application, create. Or what if we don't create the service? Or maybe if we go, well, if we create a service, we need a task definition. Let's see here. No, not the cluster. Go to the cluster. Create a service, capacitor, provider. So always Fargate and Fargate spot. Let's type EC2 external. Latest service task definition. Okay, this task definition. JX service replica development option. Yeah, it's always rolling updates. Um, Service connection. Can turn on service connection. Load balancing. JX ELB. Target group. Or let's also Google if it's possible for um, code deploy to ECS Fargate. So deploy an Amazon ECS service. ECS service application load balancer. Target group balancer production listener target group. Update your Amazon ECS application. Use code deploy to deploy code. Update your Amazon ECS application. In this section, you update your Amazon ECS application with a new version of its task definition. The update revision adds a new key and tag pair. Step 3, use the code deploy service to deploy. Okay. To update your task definition, open this one, ECS and navigation task definition. Select the checkbox for the task definition used by your Amazon ECS service. Choose to create a new revision. For this tutorial, use a small update to the task definition by adding a tag at the bottom of the page in tags. Create a new tag by entering a new key and value pair. Okay, it's still creating. So choose create. You should see your task definition revisions number has been incremented by 1. Choose the JSON tab. Make a note of the following because you need this information in the next step. The value for the task definition, its format is this one. This is the ARN of your task definition. In the condition in the container definitions element, the value of the name. This is the name of your container. The programming. Okay. So let's wait for this to complete. This might just be the. So here, okay. So in this section, you create your app spec file and upload it to Amazon S3 bucket you created in the prerequisite definition. The app spec file for an Amazon ECS deployment specifies your task definition container one for now. To create your app spec, if you want to create your own app spec file using YAML, create a file named app spec. If you want to create your app spec file using JSON, create a new app spec file named JSON. Okay, so I want it in YAML. Choose the appropriate tab depending on if you use YAML or JSON for your app spec file, and copy its content tab. Okay, let's do this. Copy, put that here in our this one. Okay, we have app spec that YAML. Okay, this one. Comment that out. Put this here. Okay, ECS service test definition. This is port 80, and then this is the container name. What is the container name? So it's here. Choose create. Choose the JSON tab. Huh? So if we click here, where is it? Why is it saying choose the choose create? You should see your test definition number. Choose the JSON tab. What? So go to task definition. This one, and then click this and create a new revision, and should say here create, but where is it where I okay, just choose the value for its definition, and this is a ARN. Okay, so just create this first. Is there any oh yeah, okay, so this is the JSON. So go to the task definition, this one. We want to put this in our here. This is the task definition. This one. Yeah, maybe that's the cause of it. They don't have the correct tag. And then we also want to take note of the choose and the container definition, the value of name. That is the name of your container. So this is the name of your container. Right. Put that in there, and port map in the port mappings element, the value for container port 80. So 80, that is correct. And yeah, so here upload your appspec file to the S3 bucket you created as a prerequisite for this tutorial. Huh? Why do I have to upload it? This is already in code commit, so I think it's good. Hold on, dream away. You're my sweet Sylvie. Oh, what you did me, come back to me. Oh, no, the other day. Hold on, dream away. You're my scene. Right, that was uploaded. And let's go to step 3. Where's step 3? Right. Okay. Use the code deploy console to deploy your ECS application. Create a code deploy application. Okay, this one. This, I think it's here. Code deploy, create a deploy, code deploy application. Should go next to each other. Alright, that should be it, right? Hold on, dream away. Choose Amazon ECS. Alright, so create application name, and compute platform. Choose Amazon ECS. Compute platform. Alright, so this is the ECS. Choose create application. And the deployment groups tab. Create deployment group. Still creating. Right, so here on the deployment groups tab of your application page, choose create deployment group. And the deployment group name, just create my own JX deployment group. Then service, choose a service rule that grants cloud deploy. Let's check that JX code deploy service rule. Let me check that. I'll go to IAM. JX code deploy service rule. Alright, so go to the rules. Find this one. Nope, doesn't exist there. So I'll go to my root account. To IAM. Oh no, not that one. We're trying to find the JX deployment. Trying to find the JX code deploy. JX code deploy service rule. Yeah, it's here. And then let's go check the permissions. Code deploy AWS code deploy rule. So this one is, where is it? Code deploy. Yeah, I think it's okay. So in the environment configuration, choose your Amazon ECS name and cluster and service name. So this is our cluster and this is our service. Okay, and then from load balancers, choose the name of the load balancer that serves traffic. Yeah, this one, and the from from production listener port Choose the port. Yep, this is the port. This is optional. Target group. Choose two different target groups to route. Ah, okay. So I will have to update my service. I need to have two target groups. Choose two different target groups to route your traffic. Make sure that these are the target groups you created for your load balancer. Let's update the service. Let's create two target groups. So load balancing. How can I update this? Mm, or maybe just delete this one. Oh no, not the cluster, the service. Configuration. Load balancing. Update. We want to update. Load balancing. Yeah, so looks like it's difficult to update that. So let's delete it and create a new one. So we need to have two load balancers. Okay, so create service. This is the task that we want. JX service. Deployment options. Um, Load balancing. Application load balancer. Um, JX ELB X1. And then target group. Can we add multiple target groups? Says here from target group one, or choose two different target groups. Two different target groups. Okay. Target group one. And then how can we add target group two? Okay, so we might need to add um, uh, a application load balancers manually, and then create. Now, how do we do that? Because this one here only has one. I can only add one target group. Okay, so go to load balancers, create a load balancer, application load balancer. Then this one here is maybe just add V. So this is the this is the first application load balancer. Port mapping. Why do I have two now? Why do I have two VPC? I only want one VPC. We're going to scrap this and we go to VPC and we need to remove whatever was added. Your VPCs. Why do I have two VPCs now? I need to delete the tenancy default. Yeah, is it default VPC? Yes. So I want to delete the non-default VPC. Delete VPC. So for my fellow noobs, VPC is your virtual private cloud, and if you have an account in AWS, you will have a your default VPC. So delete. So that one was deleted. So I should have only one VPC now. Okay. Then this one, this one, this one. I will add all of the availability zone and security group. Just use the default listeners target group. Okay, so this is where I will create my target group. So instances, this is the VPC. Okay, where should I put the name? Okay, so this one here, this is the target group that we want, and this is just the supposed to be the load balancer that we want. Okay, and then next, instances, not yet. Create target group. Okay, so we will refresh this. Refresh. That's our target group. And then can we add another target group? Okay, so let's create another target group. Target group 2. Available instances. So okay, so that was created. So can we add more? Add listener. This one. Add listener. Right. So how do we do this? This one. So add a listener. Okay. So add a listener. Still in port 80. Target group is target group 2. Add-on services. Alright, so we have two target groups for this application load balancer. So they can't have, so let's just put HTTPS, or how about this one? Then port. I just use this one. No, just use HTTPS, and yeah, maybe just port 81. Then create. So it says here target group 1, target group 2, choose two different target groups to route traffic during deployment. Make sure that this are the target groups you created for the load balancer. It does not matter which is used for target group 1 and which is used for target group 2. Okay. So if we go back to our ECS, we'll define another service. Okay. Alright, go to cluster, create a new service. Alright, so this is the task dev service, JX service, deployment, networking, load balancer. This is our load balancer. Use an existing load balancer. This one is the one that we want. Use an existing listener. This listener. Target group. Use existing target group. Target group name. What? Create a new listener. Okay, just create a new listener. Hey, where's my target group? Load balancer. Go to our load balancers. So these are our load balancers. JXALBX1V, JXALBV1V, JXALBX1. Yep. And we have listeners to it. This is creating the service. Or maybe we can just leave it like that. Okay, just choose a target group. So we put target group 3 there. Listener port already specified. Please specify unique. Okay. So just this one. Okay, and then just use that listener. Can we add 2? Can we add more? I think that's okay. Okay, so it's creating the service. It's using the application load balancer that has 2 target groups that we defined here and the EC2 load balancers. And it's creating our service. And just wait for it to finish. And you come back to me, tell me that you obey. Hold on, dream away. You're my Sicily. Hold on, dream away. You're my sweet. Until you listen to yourself. Alright, so we got the service deployed. Now we go back here choose the ELB. I think let's just create a new deployment. Go and create a new deployment group. Not a deployment group. All right. So the deployment group is JX deployment group. Right. And the service rule is this rule. Our ECS cluster is this one. ECS service is this one. This one is the load balancer. Port is port 80. Listener is this one. Target group is this is the one, and this is the one, right? Reroute traffic immediately. Specify when to reroute. Right. Create the deployment group, and we're back here again. And for original revision termination, choose 0, 0, 5 minutes. 0, 0, then 5 minutes. Nope. This lets you see your deployment faster than. What is this? To create a deployment group, co-deploy deployment group. So the cluster, the service, load balancer, cluster, service, load balancer, then port 80. This one is optional. We can put a no value in there. Target group, target group 2. Reroute immediately. All ECS all at once. 5 minutes. And yeah, so I'm still getting this. Whatever I do, I still get that. For the server, I choose EC2 tab with rolling update, but able to create I was able to create a code deployment for the same. When creating code deployment, I got error deployment groups. I intend to use code pipeline with code deployment. What I don't want to try. I am aware that I can use code deploy with code build as a build step and ECS as a build step. This is suggested as spare for rolling updates. Why I don't want to use this? I created an ECS cluster for service. I choose EC tab, launch tab, rolling updates, G for ECICD. I choose with Docker images and SCR. Um, while creating code deploy application, I got this error. Once this both are created, then we'll create code pipeline project. Both using both of them for code build. What I want to achieve, I want to use code build with code build project as the build step and code deploy project as a similar to the bullshit. And goal, once I am able to use code pipeline, code deploy as a build step and code deploy as a build step, will then replace code pipeline Jenkins and will use code build. I believe you're looking for the ECS deployment offered by code deploy. However, please reach out to AWS support for more detailed look into this use case. Closing this ticket, closing this issue. This is not relevant to AWS code deploy agent. Oh yeah, you're right. Code deployments in Amazon ECS compute platform. Before you begin, alright, so let's copy and paste that here in our CI/CD pipeline. Alright, before you begin on Amazon ECS deployment, before you begin on Amazon, you must have the following ready. Some requirements are specified when you create your deployment group, and some are specified in AppSpec. Create a service and set its deployment controller to code deploy. How can I set this? And set its deployment controller. Nope, it's not. I can't do it. These steps include create an AWS code deploy application by specifying name that uniquely represents what you want to deploy. To deploy an Amazon ECS application in your AWS code deploy application, choose the AWS Amazon ECS compute platform. Code deploy uses an application during a deployment to reference the correct deployment components such as deployment group, target group, listeners, and traffic rerouting behavior, and application revision. For more information, create an application with code deploy. Set up a deployment group by specifying the deployment group name, Amazon cluster, let's see, the ECS service deployment controller must be set to code deploy, and how do I set that up here? Is there a code deploy here? Where do I put that? Set the service for code deploy. Do, 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 do. Specify an application. You can upload it to Amazon S3 or Enter Console. Use the code deploy console to deploy your application. How about in here we choose the 3, and then here choose the 1, and then let's create. Yeah, I'm still getting this. How do I set that up? Rollback deployment target group. Let's go back to step 2. Then go back to step 1. Update your. Okay, this one says finishing. We already got that added to our app spec. Then create a new appspec file. So this is the appspec file. Upload to this tutorial. The appspec file for an Amazon ECS deployment specifies your task definition container report. For more information, see appspec file. Okay, target choose create a revision bottom of okay, so let's create another revision for our service. I think we missed to put tags. Maybe that's the one that code deploy is looking for. Go to our cluster, then go to the service that we want to, or is it in the task definition? Yeah, it's in the task definition. So on, then create this one, create a new revision. Forget this one, test rule. So we want to put a tag. Tags here, we want to put a tag. The in environment production. So this is going to be revision 6. Create a new revision at the bottom of the page. Choose create JSON file format, get this port, and then the revision number. So the new revision number is 6. Okay, so that is our this is our new test diff, and in our coder inventory it should be the new test diff, then test diff 6 and push. Okay, so we got our new test diff. Update this service, update, and then use the new task diff, which is task diff 6. Task diff 6, okay. Load balancing. Okay, so what's here? Great. Okay. Then in here, create a deployment. Nope. Add tag. Environment production. Create deployment. How do we set this, man? It must be configured for a code deployment controller. Must be configured. How to configure ECS for code deployment controller. What's the error again? ECS service must be configured for a code deployment controller. How do I configure ECS for a code deployment controller? I try to create a deployment group. It gives this one. When I go to ECS, there's no way to specify deployment controller answer. The error you're seeing is because the ECS service must be configured to use CodeDeploy as a deployment controller. This configuration is not done in the ECS console, but rather when you're creating or updating an ECS service via CLI. Here are the steps to follow. Update the ECS service to use CodeDeploy as a development controller. You can do this through the CLI command to update the ECS service. It would look like this. Yeah, that is not available. Add your answer. Deployment controller. This will not work, man. Alright. This parameter does not exist, bro. See this. A good answer clearly answers the question and provides constructive feedback and encourages professional growth in the question and how do we answer it? Hi there. Verify your email address. He used to be. What? Why is it so hard, man? Why is it so hard to do anything in AWS? Okay, the deployment group service must be configured. Okay, this might be the answer. No answer. I think this is a bug. Create AWS, go deploy. Why did you deploy this in production, man? This is not usable. How do I create code deployment and code deploy? Okay, so still hanging here, man. How to do this, man? Blue green deployment setup. So yeah, still we can't do it. Let's go and delete. We don't have task definition now. All right. So do we have service? Why don't we have a? We don't have a service in a cluster now. Did we delete it? We didn't delete it. Why is this in Frankfurt now? Damn. Alright, so let's delete all of this. And our cluster, we'll also delete the cluster. Right, then we'll delete our cluster. Right, delete cluster. Then after this, we'll switch back to the old one, old UI, and maybe the original team has done a better job than the one that it's implemented the new UI. Okay, so let's go to EC. What's this? Cluster selection, networking only, EC2 network, Linux and networking. Maybe this one. On cluster name is JXO for old cluster. Then on demand, um, yeah. Then we'll go for this T2. There's a T2. T2 small, T2 small, T2 small. Yeah. Number of instances 2, 2, EC2, MI. Alright. Networking, create a VPC or create the default one. Yeah, this one. subnet that one, subnet this one, assign use and subnet settings, right, tags, environment, uh, dev or prod, and create. So it will now create a cluster and policy, then cloud permission, stack. After this, is it done? Yeah, go to view cluster. So now we want to create a service, but before we create a service, we will create a task definition. Okay, create a task definition. Fargate, yeah, we'll just select Fargate. And then task definition name is JXO task def task rule, this rule, operating system, Linux, memory 1 GB, CPU smallest one, container, yeah, these are the containers. Container name is coder infantry, then the image is in the ECR. Oh yeah, this is the ECR. So this is the image port mapping. I think it's okay. And then what's this? Create view task definition. Okay, and then let's go to the cluster, JXO cluster, then create a service. So task definition is this one, the launch type is Fargate, and then service name is JXO for JXO-service. Task is 2, maybe 2. Deployment. So we're, yeah, powered by co-deploy. So this is what we want that is missing in the new UI. So here environment is prod, and then next, what's this? This one, this one, this one, and then next, application load balancer. does not contain any exported ports. So we should go back to our task definition. Where's our task definition? ECS task definition. Select this one, create a new revision. Should have a port. It's the port mapping, right? Port mapping 80. Okay, now we have a new task diff. Okay, so this is now a task diff 2, revision 2. Next, load balancer. Okay, there's to load balancer. Target group 2. Okay, it created the target group automatically for us. So click next. There's an error. This one is 80. Should be also be 80. 81. Right, so I think this will succeed now. One. Next, evaluation order is required. Yeah, I did one. Right. Okay, create a cluster. Create the service, I mean. Okay, now the service has been created. Let's go to our code deploy. Somebody's gonna get fired with this because yeah, the new UI is not working and it's about to expire. And yeah, I think nobody's doing a good job doing the QA for that. Okay, go to, or maybe this scenario that I'm trying to use, this use case is like nobody's really using it. Code deploy. That's why they don't prioritize it. EC2, then create the, oh, it already exists. So let's go to the applications. And what is this? Oh, it already created a code deploy for us. Okay, so alright, so we don't have to really define a code deploy because when we set up the cluster, it already created the code deploy for us. So we'll delete this application. Delete. And then here, this one, we want to, there's already a deployment. Create deployment, right? Create deployment. You register your, okay. Okay, so we want to use the code pipeline. Okay, do we have a pipeline now? So we still have the pipeline that we created yesterday. And to do, we don't have. So let's create the pipeline. So this is going to be JX pipeline, and then service. Uh, what's this? Service rule like that. And then source is code commit. All about the kids where the bump up kids, you better run outside my gun. All the other kids with, or maybe the I am maybe the blue green deployment is not available in my region, so that could be the case. Code build, and then project is coder build, and then provider is the code deploy, or no, EC, I think it's EC, our provider is the ECS. Yeah, this is our provider. Or is it? Yeah, I think that's it. That's our provider because our build will push to the ECR, and then our ECS will be pulling from the our ECS will be pulling from the ECR, and now our ECS will provide for our deployment, and that deployment will go back to like the still go back to ECS, or I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's a flow. What's this? Task definition. What? So this is the abspec. Choose the input artifact where your Amazon system is stored, if other than the default. What's this? Dynamically update optional. This is optional. I don't want to set this up. To go to previews and then go to this one. ECS blue green. This is the application. Code deploy application name. Yeah, that's the code deploy application name. So this one we're just just use a build artifact and then build artifact here, and that is optional. And then next and then create pipeline. Hopefully this is it. So the old UI works. Um, yeah, the old UI works compared to the new UI. Okay, let's wait for it, kids. I want AWS to pay me once this works, right? I want AWS to pay me 1 hour and 30 minutes of my life back. So maybe I am currently $60 per hour, and you'll have to pay me maybe just 2 hours of my time here wasted because your UI didn't work. Your new UI didn't work. All right, so we got a failed build here. I'm not sure why. Why does it failed? Yeah, maybe we didn't put the command did not exist. Exit successfully. Docker push. Yeah, in our build spec, right? Build spec, we have to put the tag. Okay, let's go back to our build and our build project. Edit the environment. Configuration. This is still pointing to something. Yeah, this is still pointing to. Oh, so in our task definition, on our container, how should we edit this? Yeah, well, I'll create a new revision and uh, this will be you should just point this to latest. And let's update that. Let's see if we start a build, will it fail? And in our ECR, let's go to our ECR. Uh, I don't wanna wants to be with you. Deep inside, I know you feel it too. So running command echo logging, and is your public succeeded? Build command did not exit successfully. You reach your pull rate limit. You may increase the limit by authenticating and upgrading. Okay, so maybe because our we hit a limit. Okay, so how about I go to our code build again. Right, so it failed. Alright, so I guess we got it, man. Our current setup is we can't, and I'm afraid to upgrade things because I'm just using the free tier. I don't want to pay anything. So let's just, for now, conclude that um, the new ECS UI is still buggy and it's still not production ready yet, or maybe because I don't know. Let's just delete this for now and just move on in life. Okay, go to our with this cluster and let's delete the service. Hopefully this will be an easy one. And then the cluster, we want to delete the cluster. Go to the cluster, delete cluster, delete me. Maybe we'll next time we'll try a lighter application. I will upload maybe a Go or a Python application because it seems like there's a lot of work needed to do an Angular app. Maybe, I don't know. Alright, we got that deleted. No more test def. There's still a test def. Alright, so let us delete all of this. Deregister. So no more test def, no more cluster. There should be no more. So let's go to ECS. Oh no, EC2. Let's delete some resources there. No, this is terminated. go to load balancers. Are we paying for load balancers? Um, balancer AWS cost at rest. Um, you are charged for each hour or partial hour that is running. The number of load balancer capacity used per hour. If it's running, but this is not running, right? But let's just delete it for safety purposes. Delete the target group. How about the volumes? There's no volume. And I think that's it, girls. Mhm. All right, we'll try again next time. Next time we're going to use a lighter application, maybe maybe a small .NET or maybe just a Python or a simple Go application. And actually, yeah, code build. Yeah, we can also delete it. So we already have a recording of this, so we can delete this now. Yeah, we need to delete that ECR. But now for now, that's it. That's it. That's it. All right. See you girls next time. Bye.